It is election day from coast to coast to coast. Take a look at this. In some places, like this riding in Toronto, the lineup stretching outside polling stations. Now, that is on top of the more than 5 million Canadians who already voted in advance polls. Maybe you've seen a scene like this out voting today. It made us want to talk to Natasha Gauthier, a spokesperson for Elections Canada. She is with us from outside a polling station in Ottawa. Hi, Natasha. Okay, some longer lineups, some longer wait times outside polling stations today in some places. Why is that?
So yes, David, in some places there is a little bit of a wait. Now, it really depends where you live. I'm here in front of Ottawa City Hall, and there are maybe 4 or 5 people in line. So it does depend on the riding. Lineups could be mostly due to the additional measures that we brought in for COVID-19. So requiring that physical distancing within the polling location. So in some places you may be required to wait outside for your turn just because they have to limit the number of people in the buildings. The additional sanitization and cleaning requirements also take a little bit longer. We have 1 poll worker at the poll desk as opposed to 2 taking your ID and crossing your name off the list. Again, that's to make sure that physical distancing is maintained inside the building. So these are all things that can add a little bit of time. So we do appreciate people's patience. Things that you can do to make your wait go a little bit faster. Yeah. Make sure that you bring your ID with you to the polling locations. So and if you want to avoid a very long lineup, we know that peak time every election is always around dinner time. So if you have that flexibility, you might want to go at a different time. Okay,
and let me ask you just about poll workers, because many poll workers in elections are retired or older, and therefore those who might be at highest risk as we, as a country, go through this 4th wave. Have you seen challenges with staffing that have extended into today, Election Day?
Staffing is always a challenge, David, every election. We saw it in 2019. We were just a bit under our target for hiring, and again this election, it's particularly challenging when it's not a fixed date election because those returning officers can't hire in advance. They can't hire not knowing what days people are going to work. That being said, we've worked very hard on staffing, and I can tell you that as of this morning, we're at 93, almost 94% of the targeted poll workers that we wanted to hire for today.
Okay, can we talk about advance polls? So that was not this past weekend, the weekend before, over 4 days. When do those when do those ballots actually get counted? A little less than 6 million.
Yes, so a little less than 6 million people voted in advance polls, and those ballots, along with the ballots cast today, so all of the ballots cast in person, will be counted tonight. Mm-hmm. As polls close in the ridings, you'll start seeing those results coming up on our website. The other ballots that will be counted tonight are all of the mail-in ballots from international and national electors, and those are counted here in Ottawa.
And then there's some that could be counted tomorrow. So I gather that in places where there are a large number of advance polls, for instance, that could bleed into tomorrow or be picked up tomorrow. And specifically for those mail-in ballots that are coming from international or outside of your riding, is the idea again that they would not start to be counted until tomorrow?
No, so the ballots that will start being counted tomorrow are those local mail-in ballots. So if you're in your riding and you voted by mail in your riding, those ballots, the ridings will start counting them tomorrow after they've finished these required verifications for integrity. They do that, they start that tomorrow morning, first thing. And ridings can start counting as soon as that's done tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And what we've seen from the number of ballots that we received back in those ridings, mail-in ballots, so just under 1 million ballots received back so far, with the deadline being when polls close, we are fully expecting that the vast majority of those 338 ridings will be finished counting their mail-in ballots by Wednesday.
By Wednesday, okay. And let me just ask you, because when you talk about the mail-in ballots, whether they were for people outside the riding or in the riding, it does appear that there were more people who requested ballots than actually received ballots, let me put it this another way. Some people who requested it are reporting that they did not actually receive those ballots. Now they have the option of going to the polling station if they live in a riding. But why would that be? Why would some people have received a ballot, have requested a ballot but not yet have received it?
So we'd have to look into those case by case. It depends when they requested the ballot. The deadline to request a mail-in ballot was last Tuesday, September 14th. At 6 p.m. We do apologize if that happened, but if that has happened, if you requested a mail-in ballot, you have not received it, you can go to your returning office in your riding and explain your situation, and they'll let you vote.
Okay, Natasha, thanks very much. We'll leave it there.
Thank you, David.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.